It's a really simple CLI that you can use to control StorPool. This is only used for kind of manual administrative tasks in a production environment. Everything I'm showing you now would be performed through the StorPool API by a cloud management system rather than by a sysadmin, right? So to show you the system, this small demo system we have now has 24 drives. Some of them are SSDs. Half of them, 12, are SSDs, and the other half, the other 12, are hard disk drives, which are configured in this case in what we call a StorPool hybrid, which means we keep one full copy of your data on the SSDs and 2 additional copies on the hard disk drives. 2 important things to note here. The StorPool CLI doesn't control a specific server in the cluster. It controls the whole StorPool cluster, including the hypervisor hosts, including the initiators that are going to use this system. So how does the system work? Well, you have a number of servers. Each of these servers runs a service called the StorPool server, each of these services. And then these are connected to a network. They talk to each other, they form a cluster. And then through that network, on the other side of that network, there are initiators, also known as clients, which connect to the cluster, and they're aware where the data is, and they provide block devices out of the system. So the service the StorPool provides are images or volumes. We call them volumes in StorPool. In some traditional storage systems, they're called LUMs. With all integrated cloud management systems, you would get a separate volume or a separate LUM for each of your VMs. In a lot of cases, you would get several LUMs per virtual machine. So, for example, an environment with 1,000 virtual machines could have 1,000 or maybe 2,000 volumes in the storage system. And the system has been designed from the beginning for this, one virtual disk is one volume in the system concept. It's every volume, so the whole StorPool cluster behaves as one large storage system. When you put one volume into StorPool, it would spread the data and replicate it across different servers as widely as possible, basically. So if you have a cluster of 10 nodes, when you create a volume, fractions of that volume go to all the 10 nodes. And to show you, the level of integration and how StorPool is used, I'm going to show you this. So one thing you control through StorPool is not just the servers in the cluster, but you also control the initiators. So for example, we have this volume here, and when we attach, which means present this volume to a particular initiator, the initiator will just create so you can attach it and detach it, and that just creates a local block device on the initiator. Another thing you can do with this is if you take a volume, if you change the size of a volume, that updates on the initiator immediately, right? You don't need to do any rescanning or anything like that to control your complete storage system up to and including the block device that it presents. I'm trying to get a really basic understanding of how the system works here. If you want to know more, just contact us. We'll be happy to to show you a more in-depth detail in terms of how we do replication, what kinds of features we have in the system, etc. But you can think of it as a really high-performance, fully featured, scale-out block storage system, which is mostly used for virtualization with KVM with an integrated cloud management system like OpenStack, for example.